Today I'm reacting to Chainsaw Man Episode 7. The full reaction and next episode are on Patreon. Okay, so what's going to be the aftermath now of him jumping down into the beast? We shall see. Are we going to get cut to the OP? Oh, okay, he did it. Right, and this all looks well and good, but what's the aftermath of this going to be? Yeah, that would... Oh, he got it right in the eyes, okay. But there has to be a consequence to this. He's not just going to kill without consequences. Love that music going on in the background as well. It's really, really great. Oh, what happens then? But did Denji know that before this happened? Okay, well he has to make it out alive, but still, how does he make it out alive? I love how impressionist the OP visuals are, that it's giving you an impression of the style of the season rather than what actually happens. A strange comparison, but it reminds me of Rick and Morty in a way with their opening credit visuals. Yeah, a beautiful stuff. Oh, I just noticed a cute shot of him with his doggy. Okay, but how are you going to get out of this? Did he eat? So he drinks blood. That's where we're at. He drinks blood. Ah, we have him in the opening. The cut across the face. What happened to him there? Ooh, very interesting. He had that in the previous episode about Power getting power off of another person's fear. Well, not another person, because she's not even a person. That's a great pastiche of like pulp noir detective stories, him drinking. I'm so intrigued for what the reveal is going to be with the Gun Devil. What's going on, Himeno? Oh, I thought it was going to cut to an action scene. I'm assuming one of them is going to die by the end of the episode. We're getting too many flashbacks. Yeah, he's not crazy. He's of too sound mind. And that's where Denji comes in. Oh, the music's so good. So good. Love the music. Love the music. 3 days? I was not expecting the storyline to go on as long as it has. Denji, you're crazy. Denji, no. Don't do a monologue, just kill. So eloquent. What kind of questions are they going to ask at the hospital when they get there? I remember that from the trailer. It's very interesting how in this 3-episode storyline not one of them died. Not yet. She's taking after the person who guided her. Yeah, what is up with Makima-san? I'm so interested to learn more. Again, another reason why I'm wondering what's going to happen when he gets to a hospital. Good idea. Oh, great transition. Love the superimposed text there.
趣味は全部わしのじゃ。道に迷っちゃって。
コベちゃん、
You poor thing.
こっちおいで。
こんな美味しいご飯初めて食べました。
コベちゃん、お金
美味しいだよ。
フシさんとこの魔人は連れてこなかったんですか？ここには怖くて連れてこられないですね。ヘンカさんところの魔人ちゃんは
What did he see?
キスの件を。
Oh, he just remembered, I guess.
おー、もっと酔ったらしてあげる。
Not sure how I feel about
いい
that.
やつか。デンジ君をみんなで殺そうとしたこと許してね。
新人歓迎会なんだから新人は立って自己紹介。
私は趣味聞きたいな。趣味で人間わかるでしょ。
趣味は食うのと寝るの。
Yeah, that's pretty much in line with any 16-year-old.
また酒飲んでないよね。
お茶。
狐の頭はイケメンしか使えないんだよ。あの悪魔、面食いだから。趣味は美味しいものを食べることで。
服かわいいよね。
We need to protect her.
ソシさんとこの新人は？
残念ですが、昨日亡くなりました。
Oh, that downward shot. What's happening there?
まあバンバン死んでくよね。
デンジ君は私とキスしたいから知らないもんね。
I'm getting a bad feeling about Kobeni.
ここにいる新人以外
Has he discovered his angel or something?
ファーストキスしちゃうんだ。
キス？
Oh,
マキマさん。
本物のマキマさん初めて見た。
so curious what's happening with her storyline this season.
それでキスって？
姫野さんとキスするとかマキマさんに見られたくない。でも同じくらい強い気持ちでやっぱりベロキスしたい。
前までこんな速いペースで肉片を持つ悪魔は現れませんでした。この間のデンジを狙った悪魔といい。
Are we going to find a gun devil by the end of the season? That's why I'm so curious
じ
about
ゃな
it.
いですか。
Why are we doing that shot? What's happening?
私より飲んだら教えてあげる。生もう一つ。マサス、カラゲ。
Again, loving how much time we're spending with all these characters.
殺人衝動を抑えられてる魔人はとっても少ないんだよ。
私は IQ が高いからな。
Love
IQ で
that.
決まるの？
Oh,
おや、
okay, just like that. Not the eye contact.
マキマ人じゃない。ゲロだ。
トラウマだなこりゃ。
What? Why was it pixelated? I've never seen vomit in anime. Why was it pixelated? What is Japan's relation with vomit?
見ろ、ポチだ。同じ哺乳類として
Or
情
is
けねえぜ。
or is this just an inside joke?
姫野先輩には自制心が足りないんだ。仕事帰りの酔った母さんをよく介抱してたんだ。
I don't care about your backstory. I want to know what is wrong with Japan.
ファーストキスはゲロの味だぜ。
Denji. It is funny though.
皆さん、マキマさんのおごりだから感謝をしましょうね。
デンジ君は？
デンジ君なら
But now I'm terrified about whatever favor he's getting off Makima. What way is that gonna go?
暗い。どこだここ。水。そういえば
Oh,
ゲロ女にゲ
God.
ロキスされたんだ。
hey! Can you kiss him normally with no fluids, preferably? Thank you.
私ん家にいんの？
Oh, she didn't drug him, did she? Ew.
そういや君、マキマさんのことラブでしょ。
Her clothes are reminding me reminding me of Ghost in the Shell. There's really great attention to detail on the animation, actually. I forgot to mention that earlier with the close-ups.
しちゃう。
Heaving a kiss, are you kidding me? Okay, so it looks like that is pretty much it. Making sure my microphone doesn't fall over there. We have gotten to the end of the hotel trapped storyline. I thought it was very interesting ending in the sense that we see Himeno, like, the bond she has with Aki, or at the very least a bond she is willing to have with Aki, is strong to the point where she's, you know, constantly wondering like, what are the ways in order for me to preserve a life? And of course, so much of that you can attribute to the survivor's guilt she would feel for being able to outlive so many of her partners. We also got an introduction to her kind of mentor. We saw his face for the first time. You'll forgive me for forgetting his name. I think I might have it in front of me, though. Kishibe, that's the name of her mentor. So, like, Kishibe, and I pointed out, like, the scar on his mouth, so Lord knows what he went through in his life. It's interesting to see, and of course, we have so much more of her characterization as the episode goes on, but be that as it may, we're seeing what she deems important, what her stakes are, as well as what her traumatic past has been. And for me, that fleshes out the character in a way where it's not just she's fighting for, like, the good of justice or the good of ridding the world of, like, a plague and helping people. So much of this is coming from her own internal conflict, which I'm sure is going to be elaborated on as time moves on. I wasn't actually at all under the impression that Denji loses power after losing so much blood. Whether that was something that was briefly mentioned that kind of went over my head at the time, or maybe it just wasn't mentioned at all, and this was her first time finding out. I'm not actually too sure, but be that as it may, it was very exciting to see that action scene where in the cold open to the episode, where you really think, oh no, he's going to be totally screwed now with the Eternity Devil, and of course he's able to get the bit of a help of Himeno, and he's on his way to saving the day. Denji being the character, especially with a character as young as this, it wouldn't make sense for him, I think anyway, for him to fall into a grievous amount of harm this early on to the series. And that being said, I'm actually very surprised that none of our crew have been seriously hurt at this point. Of course, we have Aki getting stabbed in the previous episode, and I really thought that the episode was going to end with him being done for. But no, I was completely wrong about that. This is definitely the type of show where, as I mentioned in the previous review, I think I mentioned it in the previous 2 reviews, this show seems to be touching on a number of genres within the anime medium, but it still feels very new to me in the sense that there's an unpredictable nature of it, as in just when I think it's going to zig, it ends up zagging. What I mean by that is just when I thought, like, the 3 episodes is going to lead to this, like, climactic battle where one of them is going to be sacrificed. Instead, what happens is that actually gets solved in 5 minutes, and then most of the rest of the episode is about Denji being too embarrassed to kiss Himeno, and then she vomits in his mouth, and then getting a gratuitous shot of Makima's breasts, and then, of course, the ending sequence with Himeno as well in the bedroom. So, that level of subversion. I'm curious as to whether or not within the manga they had a similar device within which they would end each chapter of the manga on a cliffhanger, making you think that the big action thing is going to happen, and then they subvert that. I'm curious about that. But again, it has been pointed out to me with regards to what the ratio is of the manga to the anime, so I'm aware of that. But nonetheless, and I am a bit of a broken record at this point, but it just really does stand out to me just how well they're pacing the show, that they're being very committed to the tone they want to establish for this show. And I suppose as such, what kind of show they're trying to create. There is a lot of levity here. It really feels like it's kind of like you're getting halfway between this being kind of like a slice of life dark comedy romance, or maybe not even quite slice of life, just dark comedy romance, versus the action set pieces and the set of I don't know if you would even necessarily call it a psychological intrigue necessarily. It's just the fact that the characters are kind of a lot more introspective than you would imagine for a standard dark comedy. Nonetheless, I would kind of, at this point in time anyway, I would say that Chainsaw Man is quite a light show. There's not, so far anyway, a huge amount of complexity or depth with the characters, nor does there need to be. I think that the depth that is there is compelling, like again with what's happening with Aki and Himeno, and also just the little bits of Denji and power, but of course both of those characters are very much played up for laughs a good bit by the show, and then so much mystery as it stands. Pardon me. You'll forgive me, I'm just looking up the name again. Beginning with Makima, sorry, I just had to scroll up to say I keep getting mixed up as between whether or not it's Makima or Mikama, but anyway. Yeah, Makima, there's still so much mystery there. Like, she was just putting away those beers. I don't know what was going on there. I'm going to keep this review pretty short. I think that kind of similar to my review for episode 6, although this review is a little bit longer than the review for episode 6, I don't think there's a huge amount to elaborate on because the whole hotel storyline is, it seems to be very focused in a way where it doesn't necessarily need the biggest amount of analysis. I just wanted to reiterate in the review portion of this reaction what it is that stood out to me. I thought it was very funny. I loved the pacing of it. I thought that the action sequences were great to watch. Love the soundtrack that's coming out as well. And yeah, that vomit sequence, I suppose, maybe someone can tell me, but I'm assuming that the puke is pixelated because Japan has some sort of censorship with something that could be considered some sort of sexual kink fetish material, and that's why it's pixelated, so it doesn't feed into that, or the, no pun intended, or the other aspect of it is that Chainsaw Man is deliberately pixelating it as a result of just playing into a particular trope to, again, kind of mess with the audience in a pretty meta way. I am remembering in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom how when you make a bowl of slop, how that's pixelated. But again, I think that's just done as a means to an end of dramatic effect. But be that as it may, I think I do want to leave it there for the review. As much as I do kind of want to go into further detail with some bits, I still kind of think maybe because we're just starting to wrap this up with the storyline for the hotel in this episode, now that we've kind of come to that conclusion and we've only 5 episodes left, I can kind of speak a bit more in depth when we get to those next 5 episodes. I am under the impression that episodes 7 to 9 are quite significant. Don't know why, I guess I'll find that out. And I guess the last thing is, I'll just again remind myself of the name, is it Kobeni? Yes, Kobeni. Kobeni, like her learning about the death rate of the Devil Hunters and their partners, of course. It's great to have a sense of high emotional and existential, basically mortal stakes from the more kind of quote-unquote scaredy cat archetypal character. Because for us then as audience members, we then have kind of a, I suppose you could call it a reference level for understanding the rest of the character's attitude, whether it's coming from a place of stoicism, of being completely jaded, or just nihilistic, hedonist sadists, I guess, for lack of a better term. Maybe not sadists, but definitely a sense of psychopathy there. But be that as it may, I think I'm going to leave the review there. This has been a long day of reviewing and reacting, but I've had a blast doing it. Very, very thoroughly enjoying Chainsaw Man, I must say. I was about to say Devil Man because the word devil is right in front of me on the screen, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much to everyone for supporting me, whether it's on Patreon or here on YouTube. Either way, I'm so grateful that all of you go out of your way to check out these reviews. I'm still very much a small fry channel, but to have the amount of positive interaction that I've had thus far, it really does truly mean a lot to me. So, yeah, I think that's it. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thanks for watching.